Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Age of Empires Online. This is a free-to-play real-time strategy MMO and very much based on the Age of Empires series. As you can see, we're going to get started real quick here. I mean, there's not a lot going on. You pick between either the Greek or the Egyptian civilizations. You pick one, you name your starting civilization town. I've already picked the Egyptians. I'm level 1, just barely started. So let's go ahead and hit play and jump right in. So here we go, we're in the game. You can move around by hitting the edges and move around this kind of persistent world map. It's kind of cool as you go through the game. You're going to be able to place different buildings on all this open space, put stuff out here by the water, fishing villages, stuff like that. We've already got a port. Let's see, this is the store, so we can go ahead and you can see all the different stuff you can do in here. Season pass, all kinds of different stuff in the store. And then most importantly, we've got our palace and we've got our first quest right here. So there we go, let's pick up our quest. Now the quests are kind of interesting because you're given the quest objectives, and then you actually head off to a different area to do the quests. So we're going to go ahead and accept that and click the quest map button to view your current quests. So where's the quest map button? Right up here. It's one of these, open close inventory, open the quest map. So here we go, using the quest map. In quest map you can select your quest. So you can see we've got gold on the Nile because we are Egyptian, so it's kind of cool, you know, keeps it, and here's our capital city. So let's go ahead and click that, and we're going to begin the quest. Let's run through one of these quests real quick. And you've got the basic understanding of pretty much any real-time strategy game, you know, highlight over guys like that, and you're going to be able to do all kinds of different, you know, that's how you're going to select units and move them around and things of that nature. So we need to kill 8 axemen and 2 treasure discovered. So I always found that it's easy to find stuff just by finding somewhere in the middle of the fog of war and click off in that direction. And you can see right here we've got a farm set up. And you can see as our guys are moving through the different area, we actually need to take out these axemen, so let's head on over and take this guy out. So pretty easy, there's one down. Let's see if we can find one of these treasures. We've got to head up here onto this ridge. There's one of the treasures discovered. Treasure hunting. Alright. So let's pick that treasure up. Let's do that, and we need to... There we go. So we received a chest, so let's open and close our inventory. So we've got a chest, we can right-click to open it. Now what's really cool with this is as you find this treasure, actually let me send my guys off in this direction so we can start talking about this while they run over there. You're going to find things like this, a stone block or lumber or different things like that in these treasures that you find. Then you're able to use those, to, as you can see, to craft items and construct city buildings. And those are the buildings inside of the actual more persistent world area. So there's another one. Let's open that up, and there we go, we got a bunch of grain. So now we need to go and find a bunch of axemen that we need to take out, and I think there's a bunch down here. So let's grab our guys, start cruising over this way. We've got a bunch of yellow dots on here, so I'm gonna guess that there's some axemen down in this region. There's a couple. Let's take them out real quick and finish up this quest. Shouldn't take too long. It never does, especially with our high quality. What do we got here? What are these guys? These are spearmen, our high quality spearmen. Now what's really cool is as you go along, you're also going to have the ability to research different technologies, upgrade your technologies, stuff like that. And you're also going to be able to change out the weapons and stuff like that you have for your different character, or not your character types, but unit types. So it's kind of cool that you're able to do that. So there we go, gold on the Nile. We completed our first quest, and when you complete a quest, you can continue exploring the map. So we can continue exploring the rest of this map, or we can go ahead and open the quest map and head back to our city and turn it in. So you just click return to city, and we travel back. And it's what I find really cool is the transition between the different scenes is always really quick. So let's turn this in, and you can see right there, you'll learn the villager, town center, and you'll also get a bunch of experience. So let's turn that in, get that, and we're off on our next quest already. And the game is very good about giving you tons and tons of quests. You can see down here, you've got a bunch of chat going on. There is a lot of people that I've seen playing the game. 2v2, you can set up different types of games like that, where you play 2v2, different levels of you know, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, stuff like that. So let's see, I can't remember exactly where, this is the general store, this is some of the stuff I was talking about. So you can take and you can buy the copper heavy spear and you actually equip that, and then your spearmen actually have the bonuses, which is damage plus 6.8. So let's see what else we have here. Our palace, and that we already looked at. The bazaar, we've got the port, and capital report. Can't remember all the different little places to go, so let's head off on our next quest and actually start. It's pretty funny, we can go and fight in Libya. That seems kind of weird fitting, seeing the time that and the stuff we've got going on in the real world right now. But right now we're going to jump in here, press any key to continue. So in the very beginning you're going to run through and do a lot of these quests, and you're going to have very similar stuff just like you know from the regular games. Is you're going to send these guys out to collect resources, stuff like that. So we've got a bunch of little villagers here, but we don't have anything on our radar right now. So let's take our spearmen. Actually, let's take them one at a time. And there we go. We found some berries that these guys can collect. And let's head these guys off in this direction to cut down some trees. And then let's head this guy. Let's see, where we found a fishing spot. So let's head this guy over here to get some fish. So berry patches, fishing spots, gazelle herds, and we've got to get food gathering at 250, and we've got to train five more settlers. So we can't train any settlers right now. Oh, there we go. There's the villagers. So we need a bunch more food first. So what we actually should do is take these guys, let's head them off in some different directions. Let's take that guy, head him off this way, and let's actually grab this one spearman, cruise him off in that direction. We got some food, so I think we can, and we need 20 more. So there we go, food gathered. We can start training some of these villagers. And as we train these guys, we can take and we can move where they're gonna come out, and these guys are gonna come out now. And you can see you've got your progress bar as far as how fast they're being created and things like that. So we actually got all the fishing spots. So this guy I'm gonna move to here because it's a little bit closer. We did find something down here, and it looks like we've got somebody to kill and a little bit of treasure to get. So let's take out this like barbarian warrior type guy. So let's cruise down here, take him out with both of these spearmen, and as soon as he gets into range we can gather him. Guarded treasure, so we can start taking this guy out with our spearmen and collect the treasure as soon as he's dead, which won't take too long, I don't think. And we can zoom in with our mouse wheel, zoom back out, stuff like that. So let's collect this treasure. Let's open the box and see what we got. So we got animal hides. Once again, another regent that we can use for different stuff. Let's cruise this guy down here. What do we still have to find? We have to find one more berry patch, and we're good to go. So we've got our villager, so we're going to start him on this stuff. And it looks like we could probably train at least one more. Yeah, we need 10 more, and then there we go. We can train 2, and you can actually stack these guys up. So we found all the berry patches we need to find. And you can see, as you can see right here, we can start stacking up our actual villagers that we're creating. Pretty shortly we're going to be able to create some more, and I'm actually going to take these guys off of wood, have them get this, because the faster we get the rest of our food, the faster we can complete this, because we need 50 more food gathered, and we need 3 more villagers completed. There's one more, and it's going to take about 30 more seconds, and we've got a scout, which this guy can cruise out a lot faster than the other guys. I should actually use him a bunch. Let's take these guys and see if we can get the rest of this. And do we have enough food? We have enough food for our last one. So all these guys are taking and doing a good job of gathering up all these resources. So just like any other Age of Empire, start out very similar to the basics, learning how to do all this stuff, learning how to take and gather resources and build up your village, so to say. And then later on, actually it looks like we've got some fun to be had. Let's get these treasure, because the treasure is very important, because as you're building your persistent world, you want to take and make sure you have plenty of treasure, because the more treasure that you get, the more different resources you get for your main village area. So let's get this treasure. We can open that one, and then let's cruise. Actually, let's cruise this guy over here, and I don't think we can actually beat him, so we might have to wait until our spearman, which I think we got. Yeah, we got one down here. So let's cruise him over here, start attacking. We got everybody attacking now, so we can take him out, get that last treasure, and complete the quest. So it says we received a chest. That must have been the last one. Now let's get these spearmen Come on, get to work. Take this guy out before we lose our scout. Alright, so there we go. We got one last chest. Let's open that up. And we got some more animal hides. Let's stack those up. And let's head back to our capital city and see what else we can do. So it looks like with the turning in, and as you can see, you'll learn different buildings. So you're going to be able to use those buildings and use those individual units when you get into those individual quests, and also once you get into the 2v2, 3v3, and stuff like that battles. So it's very important to cruise through all these different quests. I just reached level 2. And so we've got spend technology points. So new technology unlocked. From now on, single scatter service. Alright, so let's close that. I thought we'd be able to open this. Let's see. Where do we get this open at? Map. Because we've got technology points to spend.
Good day, friend.
Let's see. Unlock the storehouse at the palace. Maybe that's why, because I had to get the quest first. So it's one thing that's really interesting is you can't do stuff unless you get the quest. So here's the technology. Finally, we get into the nut and bolts of technology. Now you've got 3 different tabs up here. You got economy, you got military, and you got utility. Now right out of the gate, we've only got one option, and you can see why, because you have to actually have this before you can get these, and so on and so forth. But basically, it wants us to learn the storehouse, because then that opens everything up. And then you've got military units, which you can train infantry, and then you've got utility stuff, which is capital technology, and even all the way down to all these unlocked star hieroglyphics. And you can see, I mean, the technology gets really important because it helps you to gather things faster, it helps you to create better walls, so on and so forth. So, yes I do. So you want to really make sure that you're using your technology points to your favor. We've got 2 more points, so let's see how we're going to spend them. Hunting dogs increases villagers' gathering rate of the huntable animals. Picker gloves, wall, watch post. You can also, I don't think we can't spend anything in military yet. Let's see, what do we have over here? Town center, trains villagers, serves as a drop site, increase population by 20, granted by quest. So see, we actually already have both of these, so we can get the loom, which gives villager health, which we don't need right now. Actually, I'm just going to drop one in there, and you can see it actually took 2 points to train in that. So you got to pay attention to the cost down at the bottom. So, and that's actually the animals. I like the berries better, so we're going to go with that one. And now that we've created that, we can go and turn this in, get our 100 experience, and you can see we've got our experience bar right here that shows we need 3,600 before we're going to actually be able to level up again. So we're going to go, and our next quest is going to do all this stuff. Now, it's really kind of interesting because, you know, you think of this, it is an MMO, but the first probably few hours that you play the game, you're going to spend a lot of time leveling yourself up so you can have access to a lot of these different things like the barracks, and, you know, because you'll learn the barracks and the spearmen to be able to actually create those in your individual games. So you want to take and do all these quests, plus you also level yourself up a bunch and stuff like that. So here we go. Let's go ahead and send these 3 guys off to get berries, and we're going to go ahead and we need to build a storehouse. Can we actually build that yet? We can build it right there, and we need to build a house. So let's go ahead, and we can't build those yet. We actually need some wood. So let's see, where can we get some wood? We don't, there we go. There's some trees right there. Let's send our scout off in this direction. Let's send this guy off in that direction. Let's send this one off. So it's always good to send these guys off in different directions. Helps to scout stuff much faster. So there we go. Let's start building some villagers. All right, we've got enough to, we need a house first. So of course I built the storehouse instead of the house, and unfortunately my guy's getting attacked by a crocodile over here, Ravenous. So it contains a bunch of food though. So right out of the gate we took him out, and we actually got a bunch of food. Do we get attacked up here? It looks like we actually lost our spearmen. So what do we got going on down here? We've got one of these warriors, and we've got another guy down there. So we're going to have to take out this crocodile first and get a bunch of food, and then we're going to be able to... what happened to that... So as you can see, you want to build your storehouse closer to your resources, because they go to your storehouse first. So, and luckily we did lose that spearman, so we're actually going to be able to take and and build another guy because we did have one population open up. So that gets really important, is managing your population. As you can see, that's our population breakdown and the total number of villagers and stuff like that. And we can build one more. And we've got this guy, so let's go ahead and let's build a house. Let's actually put it right there. He'll build the house while these guys are doing their thing. We need some more wood gathered, so we need some more of these guys, but we can't build any more until we get our house built. And what do we got? Did we take this guy out? We did, so we can get this treasure. So as you can see, you know, it's really important to move around all over the map, get everything working for you. Let's take this guy out with that spearman. Did we lose our other one? We must have. So let's go ahead and start collecting some of that. Some more wood, because we need total population 15. So we need to actually create all these guys. So there we go. Let's head this guy off to get some more berries. And you can see, like, it's all a matter of resource management. It's your typical strategy game with a little bit of an MMO flair as far as the quests, being able to have a little bit of a persistent world. You can have your city where I'm at, where I pick up the quest, you can have that invaded by other players. So that part of it really gets interesting. Managing all these resources, whether it be in the individual games like this, or whether it be inside of your backpack. Because as you can see, I only have so many slots, so I have to pay attention to what I have in each of those slots and stuff like that. So let's see how we're doing here. We got a couple more guys to go, and as you can see, these guys, as they get built, they automatically head off and start resource gathering. You'll see right now, this guy, where did he go? Where did he go? We're gonna have to, I don't know. They're supposed to be going right there, but I don't know where these guys are actually going, these villagers. Let's see when this next one comes out and see where he actually heads off to. We've reached our total population. Let's see. There we go. So for some reason, one got created, but it didn't show up. Maybe it didn't get created. I don't know. Maybe I'm smoking crack. Something. But either way, this is Age of Empires Online. Kind of a cool, you know, way that they set it up. Gives it a little bit of a different feel. Graphically, different than some of the Age of Empires, a little more cartoony. They probably went that route simply because it gives them the ability to load the game faster, especially with a lot of players and stuff like that. I do like the fact that there's the quest system and all of that good stuff. The whole difference between your persistent area here and then the individual quest missions that you go on, really kind of a cool system. Sound wise, you've got, you know, very time period and very not race but civilization based music and sounds that go along with that. Plus you have these little nuances like your birds and stuff like that that are flying around. So overall, I think really good game. If you like real-time strategy games, definitely something to try out. But overall, you know, I give it a thumbs up. I actually play the game here and there on a different account with the Greeks and stuff like that. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. If you'd like to play or learn more about Age of Empires Online, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.